Hi everybody, we're going to do two different lessons, a math lesson and a reading and writing lesson. We're going to use the same materials, which is kind of fun. So these little wooden discs are going to become meatballs and flipper floppers for our lessons today. And these are going to be tally marks and spaghetti spaces. What? All kinds of crazy things. So to start, we're going to use these and these as meatball and spaghetti spaces. When you write and when you read, there are spaces in between words and little spaces in between letters. If you did not have spaces in between words and letters and you wrote a sentence, this is how it might look. If I wrote, "You can read," and I didn't put any spaces in, I would write my letters on top of each other and there wouldn't be any, that is "you can learn." I just wrote "you can learn," but guess what? There's no spaces. There's no spaces in between the letters. There's no spaces in between the words. That was 3 different words, "you can learn." Can you read it? No. You can't even see what a letter is. You have to put spaces in between the letters, little spaces in between letters. There's our sight word for this week, so that you can see each letter instead of smooshing them on top of each other. And to write a new word, you have to give a little bit bigger space so that you know this is a word. And the next word here is can. That's coming up in a couple more weeks. Is a new word, can. You can. 2 different words. You see this big space here? There's a big space. Little spaces in between the letters and big spaces in between the words. So what I call those are spaghetti and meatball spaces. That's a good way to remember how you write and when you write, and how in between your letters, I like to put my cap on my marker, in between the letters, you're going to use little tiny spaces, and in between the words, you get a big, big space, and we call that a big, fat, juicy meatball space. So I'm going to use these today for my meatballs in between my words, and these I'm going to use for my letters, my little thin spaghetti spaces in between the letters. So I'm going to write a sentence, and then you are going to get a chance to do this on Friday with me, and I'm sending more of this sentence strip home with you so you can make a sentence strip at home to do meatball and spaghetti spaces. Now I'm going to think of a sentence, and you're going to think of a sentence. It can't be the same as mine. It has to be different. And I think I'm going to write it right on here. Are you ready to listen to my sentence? We're going to say it, and we're going to count the words. Then I'm going to write it. Whoa, are you ready? I'm going to say, "You are ready to read." That's my sentence. Now let's count. Get out your counting fingers. We're going to count the words in that sentence. You, that's 1, are ready to read. That's 5 words in that sentence. You are ready to read. 5. So I'm going to write that here on my board. I made it like this so you could kind of see it today. Can you see the 3 lines? That's a little trickier to see on here. But remember, we have tall, small, and fall. We have those 3 lines, and our letters need to fit on those lines. Now, the very first letter of your sentence is going to be uppercase. You're going to go, whoa, all the way over here. I'm going to write it. This is our sight word for this week. You. Y touches the top line, and these are small. You. That's our first word. R, A, R, E. Sounds just like the letter R, but it's actually a word, R. Those letters are all small. They touch that middle line. You are ready was our third word. R, E, A. D is a circle. And then the line down, it's tall. Small, 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 tall. Get ready. Fall below the line. Y falls below the line. You are ready to. That's our next word. Top, top, top. Tall T. Small O. 2. Last word. It's funny. Read and ready are very similar. They have 4 of the same letters. Read, ready. Read, ready. Ready has the Y. You are ready to read. R, E, A. All of those are small. And do you remember? D is tall. I make the circle and then I go from the top line down to the bottom line. You, I gotta switch all the way. You are ready to read. I'm gonna put a period at the end of my sentence there. You are ready to read. Now I'm going to stop the camera. I'm gonna flip it around so we can add the meatballs and spaghetti spaces.